Joe, finally back. Wellington on Sunday. How are the boys feeling?
I'm really excited. It's been a long pre-season, I think about 3 months now. So, yeah, the vibes in the change room are definitely well up leading into the game.
And it's been a while, I think over 1,000 days since the last trip to Wellington. I think, it'd be your first time going down there. What are you expecting from an away trip to New Zealand?
Yeah, I think I had one 3 or 4 years ago. Was on the bench and it was a tough trip then. So it's been my first opportunity to play there. So really looking forward to it. I've heard that it's a tough trip. Lots of travel. We're going 2 days before the game to get used to the time difference as well. So yeah, it's always going to be a tough battle, and for them, they're going to be excited. Probably get a good turnout of fans. As you said, they haven't been home in a while, little short stints over the last couple of years, but to have a full season for them home, it'll be great for the league.
How big is it the first 6 games before the break?
I think it's big. I mean, you can kind of look at it 2 ways. You go into the break after 6 games and you're on top. It can, maybe kill your momentum. If you don't have a great start, you've got, a little bit of time to maybe rectify things. So, obviously, I think you want to be chased going into that break. You want to be as high as you can. So I think it's important for us to pick up points early.
Has Carl identified these first 3 away games as sort of a get away with 6 points and we'll be pleasantly happy, or is it sort of a target you've sort of maintained before you get back home for your first home game?
Not really. I think we just focus on week to week. Obviously Wellington's up first and we're focused on going there and coming away with 3 points. Like I said, it's going to be a tough trip, but that's the most important thing. We'll just go from week to week. 3 away games is not ideal to start, but we'll just focus on each team as they come.
How are you feeling going into the season? You look bigger than last time I saw you. You physically look bigger, but how are you ahead of round 1?
No, good. Yeah, it's been a good pre-season. The last 2 years I've picked up injuries early in pre-season that meant I've missed a large chunk of it, come back 1 to 2 weeks before the first game. So it was really important for me, for my health and just for my own, the mental as well, to get a full pre-season under my belt and really, try and cement my spot as number 1. Obviously, we've got great competition, so that was really important for me to stay fit through the whole pre-season and continue to develop.
You mentioned that competition with yourself and James. You don't really see that often where you got 2 players that high quality in one position as a goalkeeper. How's that dynamic between the two, having 2 players who have at times sort of switch around, and you guys have at times also swapped injuries where you've had big layoffs?
Yeah, no, this is the first time we've really been fit for a whole pre-season. We've really been able to, I guess, battle head to head, but it's not really, that's not the relationship at all. We're good mates. We've known each other for a long time. I first met James when I was playing in Melbourne, and he was over there as well through, mutual friends, and we've kind of just built that friendship through the years. This is now our 3rd season working together. So, it's a great relationship, great dynamic within, not only between us, but between Eugene and young Stevie and Ethan as well. We've got a really great group that are, now all fit and really pushing each other just to get better every day.
Of course, you're involved with the Socceroos earlier on this year as well. Is that something you got in your mind in the first 6 weeks, that if you do have a good start to the season, even if it's just being part of the extended squad, that could be on offer, the World Cup squad?
Potentially, but for me the most important thing is just to focus on my own performances and winning games here. And if I'm able to do that and hopefully put together some consistent performances, that may be a reward at the end of it. But you look at the competition within that squad, you've got guys that have been doing it for 5-10 years playing consistently. So I've really only had 6 to 8 months of consistent game time, so I don't really see myself in that picture. But obviously, I'm going to be doing everything I can to perform well week in, week out, and hopefully that's something that can be attached to the end of it.
Is it hard to ignore it though, knowing that Qatar is so close and a few clean sheets and a few things go your way and you could be heading there?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously everyone in Australian football has got their eye on the World Cup. Everyone, I think you'd be a bit naive to think, if I'm not in contention. Everyone in the A-League, if they can perform, they could be in there. So I think everyone's, wants to perform week in, week out. And like I said, if you are doing that, you're putting yourself in a great position to be called into the squad.
Do you have a sort of a personal opinion where you feel that you are in the pecking order of Australian football in terms of keepers? Because there's
really.
Not many, considering you are quite up there.
Not really. Like I said, I've just sort of focused on my own day to day. I don't I like to compare myself to the best keepers going around the Australia and around the world, just in terms of development. But I mean, for me to say where I think I am, that's my opinion is really irrelevant. It's up to the coaches to decide.
What's been Nuge's big thing for you in the off-season to work on and have ready for round one?
I think just consistency for me, being a young keeper. I felt like last season, maybe I was not as consistent as I would have liked to be, especially with the ball at my feet. And, that's the way the game's going, and the way we like to play is to play out from the back and play under pressure. So I think for me, that's been something I've tried to work on, and I'm still going to be continuing to working on through games and playing more games through the season. So along with, all the other sort of aspects of goalkeeping, but I think just a steady growth through the pre-season and sort of really trying to hit that high level.
Just looking ahead to Sunday with the squad, another Toure's in there, the youngest one of them all. How's that been for the group, and how's he been going?
He's exciting. I'm calling him the Toure 3.0. He's kind of we've got a mixture of the both of them. He's kind of got a bit of Mo's pace and a bit of Alson's footwork. So no, it's an exciting player. They're all exciting players, and the youngsters that we've got coming through the group, especially our wingers Bernardo, Nesta, now Musa. We've got young flair players that bring excitement to the fans, and when they step on the pitch, they bring excitement to the atmosphere of the ground. And there's so many magic moments that Mo and Nesta, all these boys brought last year. So I'm just hoping he can recreate some of that.
Did you watch Nesta last night, or have you seen the highlights from one of his many goals?
I haven't seen the highlights. I have to set aside an hour, I think, with 23-0. So yeah, no, it was a good result. I'm not sure how many he scored, but yeah, I mean, he's dangerous against grown men, so I think seeing him against players of his own age would be quite scary.
What about Craig? Is he 100% ready to start?
Yeah, he's looking good in training, mate. He's scoring past me every day and making me feel silly. So yeah, no, he's looking really good, and hoping he can get back to his best this season.